Mia's not going to be here till like 5:50, so we'll just kick it off and see how things go. All right, well, hey, I'm Jud Block. This is the Unhappy Hour. But everybody here knows that already. So I'm going to start this off with kind of a different song. This is this Town Walsh, of all people, loves this song, and every time he's around me, he asks me to play it. He's the only guy. Well, no, I guess D.B. Duncan, a fellow named D.B. Duncan, too. Well, 3 a.m. comes awful damn early for the dark lord of apartment C. He bets Bog never had to deal with this shit while outside of his jail time at least. Well, he deciphers a shirt that reads Marduk or Golgoroth, hell, he don't know. At this ungodly hour, they all look the same, and Fort was a long way from Oslo. Turn of the key from the darkest of doors, be squinting from mid-morning's light. Off through the streets he flies once again to the sound of black metal blade white. Things ain't the same as they were in his hometown, where Vikings trumped cowboys and steeds. And metal stages were last sanctuaries for those dying for things to believe. Warehouse it looms like a Nephilim's tomb, if looked at in just the right light. Dark cock it turns a succubus, damning a soul when each day kills the night. Still he'll never allow that corpse paint to run, or his pagan-fueled fire to fade. Forklift he drives is just another space, become his own personal hell to take, and that's hell in Norwegian. End of the day, he can roll up his sleeves over his Odin's cross tattoo, play on the stages of memory with dead and all he once knew. That ring in his ears once lost and now returns, an echo stretched 3 a.m. thin. That'll resolve with the crack of the dawn and he'll do it all over again. All right. Thank you, my fellow black metal fans. Yeah, that one usually goes over well with the Texas country crowd. Or at church services, true. Guys, I will eventually be joined by Miss Mia Potter, who is an incredible singer-songwriter and has an amazing voice. She's running a little late. She'll be here eventually. So, like Ken, I probably made a tactical error in getting her to be the guest this week because she's going to blow me off the stage vocally. Yeah, she's amazing. All right, let's do this next one called Residual Memory. This one almost got into there was a TV show called Justified. I guess they've brought it back as Justified Primeval, set in Detroit or something. But this is the original one, which I guess was set in Harlan County, and this almost got into the show. Near miss is the motto of my music career. It's like a lot of almost. This is one of them, if I can remember it. I've got them on the recording. There we go. Dried blood, banjo string, dissolving time to a fading scene, like a soundtrack to the silence, ringing out in between screens, with the poetry of final days, scrawled and fallen verse quatrains, upon rested souls and stillness, and stained wall souvenir remains. It's a nightmare's invitation, where fact makes fiction of real life, and the people always pray that they will bring an amnesiac sunrise, while that tenor sound keeps playing a breakdown to a mad band's waltz, metal on bone, round a lay, where last step ledge results. Now the trees are lined to get away, whisper, neglect, and willful lies, while the people always pray the day will bring an amnesiac sunrise that'll finally burn away the ghosts and lift the burden from this town of an unsought coronation have brought a cemetery for a crown. Yeah, brought a cemetery crown. Yeah, thanks, guys. Got off to a rough start there. Don't know what that chord was I hit, but very atonal. One of them jazz chords, I guess. All right, let's do this one. I'll do my song I keep in the set list out of spite. Spite and bitterness. I wrote this one for I don't believe in songwriter competitions and all that nonsense, but a buddy of mine had one a few years back at another venue, and it was for Texas Independence Day. And what he did, he gave everybody 15 words or phrases that he thought kind of were related to Texas Independence Day, and said, "Hey, use as many of these as possible." And so I wrote a song, and I was pretty happy with and pretty proud of it. And well, thing is, I lost to the funny song, which is what's always going to happen. I don't care how good your song is. If it's not funny and there's a funny one, you're going to lose to the funny song. And just to actually turn the knife on that one, not only did I lose to the funny song, but the guy who wrote it was from the Pacific Northwest. He wasn't even from Texas. But he made fun of Ted Cruz, and ha ha ha, and everybody loved it. So I keep this in the set list purely out of spite. Just check something real quick. That didn't sound right. Yeah, it's always fun watching someone tune their guitar. All right, it's tuned enough. This one's called Peggy Suicide. Saw the awful lights reflected off of Peggy Sue's eyes as she swung silently in that tree. A rope tied to a trailer hitch by some son of a bitch who couldn't think of any other way to get free. Well, it's a mockingbird soundtrack tragedy, a blood-soaked punchline of life, where less questions are answered, the more we demand the reasons why. Rangers lost the trail, and the shadow death left unveiled, where no one gave a second thought. Just another faceless victim, processed through the system and deposited in a markerless plot. Well, it's a mockingbird soundtrack tragedy, a blood-cloaked punchline of life, where less questions are answered, the more we demand the reasons why. Thank you. Song about suicide. Who doesn't love those? Actually, there's a kind of a gray area there. It's a suicide, possible homicide. I don't really know. Well, okay. I think the special guest has arrived. I will continue making some noise while Miss Potter gets set up and ready to go. You are official, looking official. Dan, anything you want to hear? We'll see here. All right, let's keep the darkness going. No point stopping now. This one's called Aristophanes Neglected to Mention That. Got a lot of radio airplays, you can imagine, from the title alone. Aristophanes had this philosophy that he believed everybody, at one point, men and women were joined together and we formed a perfect wheel. And we would just wheel around, happy as we could be with each other. Then we pissed off the gods, and they divided that wheel, and they scattered it to the different parts of the world, and we spend the rest of our life looking for the other half of our circle. And I always thought that was kind of a beautiful thing until I started thinking, well, what happens if something tragic happens to your half of the circle, your other half of the circle? What if there isn't another half of the circle out there? And you spend the rest of your days wandering in misery. Part of the irony of Aristophanes, I guess, but this is called Aristophanes Neglected to Mention That. Superstition moved a hand, had a Hercissel inside to a button and held fast through each pair passing lights, respectful of the circumstance, yet oblivious to the truth that the guest of the procession had unearthed a hole for two, had unearthed a hole for two. Final tears and oakbow fears slid silently in the breeze, witnessed only by the susurration of heedless wheels and falling leaves. A lonely step around brief regret set turmoil off its guard, so that when, if ever revealed, the pain would echo twice as hard. Yeah, the pain would echo twice as hard. Now the emptiness left behind sings a mockingbird's despair, fraught with false note innocence, knowing damn well what's not there, while mocking each day's passing in subtle symbols of distress, turning faith into frustration in the shade of loneliness, in the shade of loneliness. still the search continues in blinded futility, believing that just up ahead waits the promise of meant to be, while misery smirks darkly at the obvious left denied, knowing that someone for everyone is still love's greatest lie. Yeah, it's still love's greatest lie. Thank y'all. Definitely my most cynical song, easily. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Mia Potter.
Hi. You get to meet my alter ego from work because I have a big girl job now. Actually, COVID didn't leave me much choice, but I still do this, so, you know, I'm happy to be here, even if I am all nerded out from work. I mean, don't get me wrong, 4th grade me is like, oh my God, we're a scientist. Do a little quick sound check, make sure I'm not gonna blast you out. Night with his shattered teeth attempts to speak.
Hey, Joshua, could I get another? My lovely wife will be more than happy to transport that, no doubt.
It's Heidi, right? Yeah. Heidi. Okay. I remember. I never remember anybody's name.
You don't run into too many Heidis.
You really don't. And I had that movie as a kid. Although I'm sure that part's played out. Well, as Jud said, my name is Mia Potter, and I've been writing music since I was about 13 years old. I think I'm going to start off with something pretty easy. This one is called Home by 9, and it's basically a song I wrote for my sister's kids. I don't think the same way the rest of my family does, so I felt like, oh, okay, I'll write this song and put my feelings into this song, and it basically, the end-all, be-all, like, message here is, if you don't like your peas, when you're an adult, you don't have to eat your peas, right? So, like, tolerate your parents, I guess, is the underlying.
That's an important message. Important.
It is. They say, children, listen, but you'll never do it. They'll say, children, play nice. It won't make you think twice about the things that you do. I want you to know, child, life does go on, whether you care about your path, it's been drawn. Whoa, oh. Yeah, they'll say, children, do right. When you go out with your friends, and they'll say, be home by 9, and you still got 3 hours until the party ends. I want you to know, child, life does go on, whether you care about your path, it's been drawn. And whether you listen with both of your ears, it's your choices that will get you through your years. You think life does not get any worse than And they'll say stay out of the deep end. Don't get in over your head. And they'll say they don't like any of your friends, and that you should just listen. Why don't you understand? Well, I want you to know, child, life does go on. Whether you came about your path, it's been drawn. And whether you listen with both of your ears, well, it's your choices that will get you through your years. I want you to know. Yeah, I want you to know.
Ah, don't think there are many scientists who can do that.
I'm a scientist, y'all. For real, though, I work with autistic kids, and a lot of them, they are so frustrated because they can't communicate themselves. But I see them when the music's on the YouTube, they connect with that. Like,
They
I
love
can't
the
wait
music.
to use it in my
Music gets-
practice.
I have heard that. My wife works with special needs kids at her elementary school, and that's
Nice.
I always heard that music just there's something about that, and they get out of control. It can calm them down. They connect.
We
That's
do a
awesome.
lot.
That is so cool. And that was a deep excavation on eat your peas, or don't have to eat your peas. By the way.
Well, I used to say, if you don't fucking like your peas, don't fucking eat your peas. But I'm trying not to say fuck so much because I work around little kids. I'm talking like 2, 3 years old till like some of the school kids come in late, but right now it's just babies. Gotta wash my mouth.
Well, okay, well,
I gotta spell stuff out. ASS.
anybody has phones, tweet, go on Facebook, tweet out, hey, Mia's here, we're having a good time. Need to come out and party with us.
I'm gonna go see if my phone is in there because I meant to check in and pester my friends.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Mia's also in a band with her husband, Dylan, and I believe he's played here too, and I think you play bass. You play bass for another band, don't you? Oh, okay. I've not got a chance to see Mia and her husband. That's on the list of things to do. Let's do the only even remotely drinking song type of tune that I have. Hey, this is a loose thing here. It's nothing strict. So this one's called Next Excuse. This one I used to front a cowpunk band in North Carolina called Cattle Truck. We toured around the Southeast for about 10 years or so. And we had a lot of killing songs, but you're going to get to hear a lot of those tonight also. But I decided, we didn't have a drinking song, and in my mind I thought this is going to be one of those barroom sing-along type things. And as tends to happen with my songs, I took a sharp left turn after the first verse, and it actually became more a song about bad decisions and regret. Keep that in mind. This was called Next Excuse. Another empty bottle just rolled across my floor, and it'll soon be followed by at least 11 more. Well, self-medication has so far worked all right to create a haze of days and strobe light snapshot night. Well, no battle will be left unturned, and this I promise you. Well, every county in the state will be dry by the time that I'm through. No need to be concerned about what I might do. Well, no battle will be left unturned in an attempt to find my next excuse. alone ain't as bad as I was led to believe. Hell, there ain't that many people anyway that I really want to see. It gives me a lot of time to figure out just what I need. So I'll know if it's blood or plasma that's gonna get me through this week. And nobody will be left unturned in this, I promise you. Well, every county in the state will be dry by the time that I'm through. No need to be concerned about what I might do. Well, nobody will be left unturned in an attempt to find my next excuse. Well, I've worn out my welcome just about everywhere I used to go, and all my friends have been replaced by locked doors and unanswered phones. Most might take the hint that I've chosen to ignore, but I wouldn't know how to start each day without regrets about the night before. And nobody will be left unturned in this, I promise you. Well, every county in the state will be dry by the time that I'm through. No need to be concerned about what I might do. Well, nobody will be left unturned in an attempt to find my next excuse. Yeah, nobody will be left unturned in an attempt to find my next excuse. Thank y'all. Drink up.
Check out that timing, though.
Perfect. Like we practiced it.
Haha, yes. This entire evening and performance was pre-rehearsed for you guys on Facebook.
Carefully choreographed and synchronized.
And we paid a lot of money for that choreographer, too. Let's see. Let's pick a... Okay, so I didn't know. I got a lot of people telling me when I was younger that I sounded like Janis Joplin, but I didn't really know what she sounded like until I met my first husband. I was like 19, I think, and Mercedes-Benz was my ringtone. Well, after our divorce, I really got into her. Like, I started, because dang, if you got some heartache, like, that is what you want. You want some Janis Joplin, Little Girl Blue. Like, you'll cry your eyes out. But this is something I wrote before I knew who she was. It's very Janis-y, and I appreciate it a lot for what it was at the time. It's called Simple Heart. Something's wrong, no, something just ain't right. I'm awake all day and I can't sleep at night. My heart is aching and I don't know why. I guess that lately I've been living someone else's life. I'm a simple-hearted woman. Ooh, it's true that I'm easy to please, but this simple-hearted woman, no, she don't mind being treated like a queen. Lately I've been wondering, what's this all mean? looking up to the sky for something, but I don't know why. No, I lost my faith a long, long time ago. I need a little understanding, some patience, if you please. 'Cause this pain I've been going through has brought me right down to my knees. And believe me, I've tried to fight these tears, but they are way overdue. My many years. Ooh, it's true, I've been unfair. Ooh, it's a miracle you're still here. Yeah, simple-hearted woman, no, she don't mind being treated like a queen. Lately I've been wondering, what's this on me? Looking up to the sky for something, but I don't know why. No, I lost my faith a long time ago. Lost it with my soul. Oh. Ooh, it's true, I'm a simple-hearted woman. Ooh, it's true that I'm easy to please. Yeah, this simple-hearted woman, no, no, she don't mind being treated like a queen. Lately I've been wondering what's they show me. Looking up to the sky for something, but I don't know why. Though I lost my faith a long time ago. Something's wrong, no, something just ain't right. I'm awake all day, and I can't sleep at night. My heart is aching, and I don't know why. I guess that lately I've been living someone else's life.
Yes.
Dude, it's so funny you said that thing, like, start your weekend on the minor note, because that was a lot of the reason I didn't play my originals, is because they're very sad and depressing and in minor, and now I have a song buddy.
Yes, yes. If you're minor note deficient, we can get that handled for you.
We can do that.
But hey, Brad's out here and Wyatt's here, man. Congratulations on the best of for the under 500. Well deserved. You guys you and Carrie have worked your ass off. And man, I was so happy to see that when you posted that earlier. That is so awesome.
It was 500 what?
Best live music venue, 500 under capacity. Yep.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
If I say some weird sounding stuff, it's because I try not to cuss around kids at work, and I'm only 3 weeks in, so I kind of got to practice. Frick yeah. It's going to be interesting for a while.
Well, so I went in and I did a Tina Marzola, another great songwriter.
Woo,
She's
yes.
got a radio show on KNON called Under the Sycamore. And I went in and co-hosted with her, and she was like, listen, you can't swear. You cannot swear. And the other thing that is kind of sucks, but I understand it, you also cannot mention any music venues. So you can't say, hey, I'm playing, Thursday at Six Springs.
Right.
Because obviously they want the money.
They
so,
want them to pay for that, yeah. Well,
but
and I don't blame them.
it was more so the not being able to swear part that was I really had to focus. I had to focus on. Saw the light of burning bridges reflected in your eyes. But you didn't run, in fact, you stayed right there by my side. Well, these kind of feelings have never been my forte. Can't seem to find the right words for what I mean to say. Well, ain't afraid of emotion since the pills started to work. But how things play out in my head is rarely how reality looks. So pardon me if I keep things to myself. Just trust I only feel for you and no one else. Well, I know you sometimes wonder if everything's alright, but my love is a poetry that's spoken between the lines. Well, I ain't no saint, I never tried to deny that. Plus you always said you can't trust anyone who only wears a white hat. But I got plans to improve life for you and me. But the less you know about such things, the better off you'll be. So pardon me if I keep things to myself. Just trust I only feel for you and no one else. Well, I know you sometimes wonder if everything's alright, but my love is a poetry that's spoken between the lines. So by now you've heard, you probably suspected all along that I'd fall in the trap of that Scottish poet and all my plans would go wrong. But don't give up on me, the law can't keep me away. And when I return, I promise you a love the words cannot say. Just promise me if I keep things to myself. Just trust I only feel for you and no one else. Well, I know you sometimes wonder if everything's alright, but my love is a poetry that's spoken between the lines. Between the lines. Between the lines. Thank y'all. It's an old cattle truck song, too. Heidi convinced me to bring that one out of retirement.
You know, my partner does a lot of stuff like that for me, too. He's like, you know, that's really good. You should do that. And you got to listen to the person who knows you the most.
Yeah, I agree. The thing was, and I don't know if you were in this situation, but I was trying to, like, distance myself from cattle truck. There for 10 years. A lot of good memories, a lot of bad memories. And so I was trying to kind of go a whole different route. So I had him sitting there, and Heidi heard that one in particular, and she said, you need to play that again. And I was like, yeah, you know, I think you're right. And it's weird because, like you said, the person who knows you best, every time I play that, somebody compliments that song. And if it hadn't been for her, that would have just, you know, been put out to pasture.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, my husband does a lot of stuff like that for me, especially with our band.
I got to meet
because
Dylan. I've never met him.
You haven't met
I've
him
never
yet?
met
Oh,
Dylan.
man, he's at home with the kiddo right now, but she's about to go out of town. Maybe he'll come to Tuesday next
Very
week.
cool. That would be nice.
Maybe we can chill. But yeah, he's very, like, why, don't sell yourself short. Don't, like, no, that's great. Don't leave that out, you know? And honestly, after we're going on 10, 11 years now, like, just nobody could ever possibly say the things he's allowed to say to me about my music, about me, about anything. Like, nope, only him.
And that makes sense.
I'm going to stick with the whole minor theme. This is one I don't play a lot. I think primarily because it's the same 4 chords. And I had something about that. I don't know what that was. But I wrote this when I was 17. Instead of going off to college after high school, I decided I'm going to travel with the Renaissance Fair. And I went all the way up to New York City, down through Colorado, Houston, all the way back to Waxahachie. And this is one I wrote while I was in the mountains in New York City. It's kind of sorrowful, but, you know, I was an angsty kid, so it makes sense. It's called Unload. Confusion is defined inside of my head. I pray to once again just lay in my own bed. A message from a voice I thought it stayed in my past has come to me. It's come to me at last. Twice, 3 times the heartache. How much stronger am I? How much more can I take? Feel like my head will explode. All I need is to unload. All I need is to unload. I must admit I've had my share of it. All this kissing, yes, this living up to an image, my image. Once again I must pretend that I am who I really am, and I am living up to my own expectations. Once, twice, 3 times the heartache. How much stronger am I? How much more can I take? Feel like my head will explode. All I need is to once, twice, 3 times the heartache. lie. How much more can I take?
Yes.
Thank you. That's when people were like, haunting was the word I hear a lot about my voice. And I don't feel that way, but I do feel quite tortured. Or at least I did as a child. So, like, that works for me.
So man, no, honestly, were you an emo kid? Were you an emo gal?
I was, but I wasn't allowed to be. Like, mom was all, if you wear black clothes, because remember, I grew up in the 90s, right? So it's like, oh, you'll be guilty by association. I'm like, of what, though? It's like, because those are the bad kids, basically, right? And they're troublemakers. But she made it up. Years later, she bought me black glitter nail polish for Christmas. She started buying me black everything. She let me wear a Hot Topic dress to prom. It was very Victorian with the lace up the neck and down, and I had my hair in red and black twisties and sunglasses and a red and black feather boa. Like, I was killing it vampire style. And that was like, I graduated at 17, so that was a very, very baby Mia.
Wow, that's awesome.
Like a baby Mia.
I was a goth punk kid, but I loved emo. I loved, what that called, it kind of emo and pop punk, they kind of crossed over. There was a lot of similarity. Mm-hmm. But I love like Armor for Sleep and Spill Canvas. But I didn't know they were emo. I just liked them, and then somebody informed me, hey, you seem to like a lot of emo bands. I'm like, well, I guess they're making decent music then.
I was very much and very sadly confined to the airwaves for my music for the longest time because my family was not musical. Like, I did not know people want to hear my song. You want to hear what I wrote? Like, that was, believe you me. And also the fact that I don't sound like anybody else. I thought that meant I was bad.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's terrible.
Well, and I didn't share those feelings with my mom or dad. So it's not like, they just let me feel like a piece of shit. It wasn't like that. But totally.
I'm glad you got past it.
Yeah.
I'm glad all that was in the past now because you're awesome. Because I'm going to play this song that I wrote for my wife. I haven't played it in a long time. Because I think I may have written her way too many songs.
That's
think
not
she's
a
got,
thing.
I think she's got like 3 songs now.
Not when you're in love, it's not a thing.
So this one's called Favorite Sin. Rosary red shade nightfall, shrouds whispered words, hidden impenitent shadows to ensure morality's blurred. While truth seeks the honesty of a yearning colored gray, putting shame to honesty while innocence smiles and turns away. Sinful streaks of silver stain, a residue of pleasure upon skin turned poetry, a written esoteric measure, writhing in expected release, love a touch never foretold. That once felt seems all the proof we'll ever needed of a soul. Purple pulsates through the black, in gothic undertones. A cemetery concession, well, unspoken but always known. Fingers laced in time's embrace, await an ending's new start. It's all through, something like that. Well, everywhere but in the heart. At the end. Thank y'all. Little muted jazz F.
I love that.
A love song in a minor key. That's how you got to do it. See, it's an obsession now.
I wanted to do, because, everybody makes fun of Jimmy Eat World the Middle. Like, I thought about trying to learn that in a minor key and slowing it down, because it's kind of a good message. But
nobody should make fun of Jimmy Eat World, first off. That's something that should not happen. Was it Clarity? I think Clarity is a great album. I mean, obviously, the album where the middle came off of, which I cannot remember the name of right now.
I have no idea. That's the only song I know.
And I am an Arizona Cardinal football fan, as are they, because they're from Arizona. So naturally, I have to like Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. Didn't they also do This Is the Story, whatever? So, yeah. I heard that guy wrote that, that night, because him and his girl were fighting, and they were already kind of working on, I guess, the song structure, maybe, and he just kind of, boom, hit song. Jeez, I wish I could do that.
It's funny, there's been an emo revival thing. There's a couple bands who are...
Especially My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, of course,
That's
yeah,
a big one.
And those guys were like a great bar band that just tapped into that, which is insane, Black Parade. But bands like Jimmy World and Switchfoot are having a renaissance now, which is kind of interesting.
It's kind of coming along post-90s,
yes,
re-emerging. Yeah, I see that too. I'm trying to decide, I only have one love song, so I'm going to play it. It's not in minor key because I'm not that cool, but it's actually really corny too, but that's okay. Because it's the only happy song I have. It's called Show Me the Sun. Missing you at the break of dawn today, wishing somehow you would pass my way. Although I know there's something different about you, well, I just moved on. Yeah, take me to the moon. Doesn't really matter as long as I'm with you. Something about the way you look at me makes me feel we're meant for there. Then I say, something about the way you say my name makes me feel like I could set the world up in flames. Show me the sun, yeah. me to the moon. Doesn't really matter as long as I'm with you. Yeah. Thinking about me. Did you really think about me? Well, did you really think about me today? Show me the sun, take me to the moon. Doesn't really matter as long as I'm with you. Show me the sun, yeah, take me to the moon. Moon doesn't really matter as long as I'm with you. Yeah.
Nice.
That is so unlike every other song I have. Please do not even try to get hooked on that, because that was very much my Michelle Branch like phase, which I guess today's equivalent would probably be Miley Cyrus.
Miley, there you go.
She wasn't
There you
afraid
go.
to be like, yeah, and
she-
put some like rock
There's a
in
little bit of
there.
rasp in there.
I love it.
Well, not to make you any more nervous. I don't think you're nervous at all, but we got some pretty damn good songwriters who've showed up. Yeah.
Now
Miss-
I'm nervous. Why'd
yeah,
you
Miss-
tell me that?
I know, right here at the table, Mr. Dan
I'm
Weber.
gonna take these off now. I can't
Dan
see
Weber
anything.
and Lynn Doc McCracken are here, two great songwriters. It's cool to be a part of this little group. You get to hang out with folks like that, just like it's not a big deal. Just hang out with some great songwriters.
I've been doing a lot of that, and you've been there a lot of the time. Just
Well, there's
saying.
always the exception. You
Maybe
know.
Heidi can remind you of that when you're down on yourself later, when all the great songwriters gather. You're there.
It's like it's throwing me a bone. It's like, okay, come on. All right, Heidi, should we go south of the border? Let's go south of the border. This is a true story about a place called Santa Elena's Ranch. This happened back in the, I believe it was the 90s, if I have the time period right. Somewhere 89, 90, I think. A gentleman named Adolfo Costanza was providing protection for some drug cartels. He practiced this kind of black magic called Palo Mayombe, and seemed to be working. Seemed like these drug cartels were invisible to a lot of the authorities. And problem is, in order for him to enact this black magic, it required human sacrifices. And so he went down to Santa Elena's Ranch, which he owned, and he did just that. Unfortunately, he made a mistake, and he killed a kid from the University of Texas, and the United States got involved looking for this young man, and they found him buried in Santa Elena's Ranch. And not long after Adolfo's magic kind of ran out, and he was killed in a Mexico City hotel room. But this is from Adolfo's point of view. This is called Santa Elena's Altar. Black metal and blood stream the chords of my soul, sounding an angel's whisper to guide where the blade must go. And each acolyte shaking hand can alter what must be, where pain is a sacrament made more divine by degree. A search for innocence to feed the dead, and deities is a burden I have welcomed. Well, as a price for piety, each sacrifice and honor painted red by some unknown, a final heartbeat paid transaction. Well, on a debt they've always owed. Her screams ring a chorus, well, in praise of what's been done. Each last breath, a lantern illuminating what's to come. Beyond the realm of worry, a new reality, where action without regret writes the lines of prophecy. The silence of the landscape serves to mark the hallowed ground where a desert sand dome temple holds parishioners earthbound. Above the souls of two dead crows cross to form a sacred frame. Well, there's a dark spell of protection from the laws of the profane. And still they search for reasons and semblances of why to fill the blanks within the spaces of a leaden Eucharist reply. And Katie and Pembe smile had what's been done in his name. Katie and Pembe smiled at all the work that I've done to exalt his sacred name. All right. Thank y'all. Yes, we do indeed have the circus biddies coming up next, and I love the theme, the nerdy love.
Oh, I have to at least hang out for a couple songs of that.
Oh, it's a
I'm-
whole performance. This is like nothing you've seen before.
I mean,
It's amazing.
That's exciting.
That's why I wanted to have the third Thursday of every month. I could open for the circus biddies.
They're here every third Thursday? Like on
They are.
rotation? Every third, it is Thursday. Yeah, you're right. That means tomorrow's Friday.
It must
See, at
be.
work, we'd be like, great job, friend. You know the days of the week.
That's why me is a scientist.
We need a scientist. All right. Gotta think about this. Oh, yes, I see now. I get it now, and I am sticking
Oh,
around
it's
for
just
that.
starting. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Let's see, which one? This. All right, this is a song I wrote probably 21, 22. And,
So last year.
no, not even close. But, but I did write it at that time when you're fresh, like sort of fresh out of school or high school, and you've moved on to your adult life, but you were still hanging out with like everybody, and now you're not, or you're starting to less and less because you're growing into adults, and that's just what happens naturally. It is very boring. It sucks. But this is kind of my take on it, and I turned it around. It was like, okay, well, I feel this, and you feel this, and, you know, that's what it's all about. It's called Moving On. Something's off. Hold on. There we go. It's too similar to Simple Heart. I do that every time, too. I swear I know my own songs. big sister, go on and hurt me one more time. This time I may just break down and cry. Isn't that what you wanted all along? Hey, best friend, why don't you cancel on me again? After all, it is for your man. We all know he matters more than me, that much I can see. Hey, mama, I bet you have no words for me to help me get through these times. I know you like to play blind, but I can see. But I guess it's not about me anymore. My life has flooded over with selfishness, and I feel I've been over neglected, and I need to be loved, and I need to be loved. Please just smile at me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Hey, big sister, go on and tell another lie again. This time just keep pretending that we're friends. It's all a game to you. Hey, best friend, where were you in that time of need? Grown apart and you no longer see me for me. Hey, mama, I may be all grown up, but I still need you. Please don't shy away. Don't shy away from me. I guess it's not about me anymore. My life has flooded over with selfishness, but I feel I've been over neglected, and I need to be loved. Yeah, I need to be loved. Please just smile at me. But you become so wrapped up in yourself. You never stop anymore to show you care. Yeah, we become so wrapped up in ourselves. Stop anymore to show we still care. Well, I become so wrapped up in myself. I never came to see you. I never stopped to phone you. I hardly ever see you. You like this. Thank you.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, this actually goes really fast every time I do it. We're down to the line. I'm going to do one more song. Let Mia close things out. Do the same song I do every time I close out a set. This one's from Mr. Jay Johnson. Jay checked out a little early on us. But he had this amazing gift. He knew when somebody needed to hear something, he knew the most perfect way in which to say it. Last time I saw Jay was at Bill's Records, and he pulled me and Alex Lease out into the parking lot to his truck, where we proceeded to share the world's hottest bottle of scotch. And I never divulged what it was that Jay said to me that day, but it keeps me playing all those nights when I'm looking at the back wall of the bar.
That's important for an artist.
Yes, and then I saw this documentary called The Bridge. It was about people who jump off the suicides committed off the Golden Gate Bridge in California, and they had some people who actually survived it. And without exception, every single one of them who survived it said the minute they stepped off the ledge, they regretted what they had done. So I kind of like to think maybe somewhere down in there between Jay pulling that trigger and the hammer coming down, he may have had a little bit of regret. But this is for Jay Johnson. It's called The Space in Between. A determined hand, soundtrack by a final breath, to a backdrop of love's last shade, all flavored by metal and death. And the irony for the poet was the words would go unseen, to describe the regret of the action that exists in the space in between. A tie-dyed mask strained gray by constant cruelty to explore, exhausted with the struggle of feeling one day more. And the irony for the poet was the words would go unseen, to describe the regret of the action that exists in the space in between. So we left his wisdom scattered while preparing for the fall at venues, in songs, in conversation. Shh, this part's important. Making suicide notes of us all. He made suicide notes of us all. And the irony for the poet was the words would go unseen, to describe the regret of the action that exists in the space in between. That exists in the space in between. God bless you, Jay. Mia, close it out.
Oh, man. Okay, since we have a whole, cool act going on, I'm going to try and lift the energy. I didn't say it was not depressing. We're going to, play it a little faster here. No, I'm just kidding. This is a song I wrote while I was an actual career musician, actually. And I would always just kind of do my sound check. And then I had an event in my life, and a lot of things were going on, man, and I had to decide, what is love to me? And I decided that love is part of forever, but it's not forever. There's something different that makes forever, forever. So Complicated is about saving the world from love. This is the one Brian likes. It's just one of those days when nothing seems to go your way, and you don't know why. It's complicated. You know it's like every fear you've ever had. It's actual, it winds in, you can't hide. It's complicated. 'Cause you don't know why. It's complicated. You know it's like every fear you've ever had. It's actual, it winds in, you can't hide. It's complicated. 'Cause you don't know why. It's complicated. You know it's like every fear you've ever had. It's actual, it winds in, you can't hide. It's complicated. I remember time when all we did was smile. We were never separated. And our love was so overwhelming that day by day by day by day, all we could do was be happy. But now I am not okay, and now you are not okay, but maybe together we could be. We could make it less complicated. Love is overrated anyway, so now I pose to you this rather unconventional idea. You know, it seems so easy, but I wasn't sure if you'd be up for it. I need you on my side. Let's stop the fear. You know, I noticed love never quite works out. And I used to say there's nothing better, and then love is what we have. It makes me so sad to think that this could ever be over. No, I won't call it love, I'll call it something better. So now it's complicated, 'cause only we understand. And now it falls upon us to save the world from fear, to save the world from love. To save the world from love. Because it's complicated, love is overrated anyways.
All right, folks,
you
that's
so
Mia
much.
Potter. I'm Jud Block. That's
And
it
Jud
for the night.
Block.
This is it for the night. Hey, thank you, Brad and Carrie, as always, for letting us open your doors and letting us
Yes.
make this kind of noise, sharing original music. Congratulations on the Dallas Observer Award. Thank you, Joshua, man, one of the great bartenders in the area, and I also found out one of the all-time great horror movie actors. Look him up if you know what I'm talking about. Yes. All right, I'm going to be back here next month for the anniversary. I have the legendary Jeff Hobson with me.
Yes.
Going to be a lot of fun, I think. All right, you guys, hang around. We got the Circus Biddies coming up, and this month's theme is Nerdy Love, which I can't wait to see how this plays out. Thank y'all.